ADU regulations in California are changing big time in 2025. In this video, we're going to be talking about 4 major changes. We have the ADU Amnesty program. We have a bill that cleans up the old SB 9. We also have the increase of ADUs on multifamily. That's SB 1211. And we have new definitions for ADUs. All of these may have huge impact on your ADU project. It's all outlined in the newly updated HCD ADU handbook, but I'm gonna spare you from reading 54 pages. This is what you need to know. First, who am I to educate you about all of this? My name is Joseph Peretz. I've been designing and building ADUs for years now, and after 85 projects, I think I know a thing or two about building ADUs. But don't take my word for it. Go check out all of my ADU property tour videos here. And go check out my how to build your own ADU videos here. If you have any questions about your project, or you just need help brainstorming your project, go schedule a free consultation with me. I'll link my calendar down below. Okay, enough talk, let's get into it. Let's start with one of the bigger bills in the handbook. It's AB 2533, and it pertains to unpermitted ADUs. It's the Amnesty program. Now, California is relatively lenient on unpermitted units and converting them into ADUs, but this bill changes it all. Prior to this bill, we were able to convert unpermitted ADUs, but we had to bring it up to current building and safety rules. This was almost impossible. Now, with this bill, with 2533, we no longer have to bring it up to current building and safety rules. All we have to do is make sure that the ADU meets basic safety standards for habitable space. Now, if you have a crumbling foundation or you have a leaky roof, that's not going to work. But we no longer have to update the sewer or update the electrical panel, which is going to save homeowners a ton of money and a ton of time. And finally, this bill prohibits the city from charging extra fees like impact, connection, or capacity fees. Basically, if there are no upgrades to the existing infrastructure, the city is not allowed to charge extra fees. And we love saving money where we can. As a contractor, I've dealt with many phone calls from homeowners saying that they have a code compliance. This is basically where a city inspector will come to your house, they will see that you have an unpermitted structure or an unpermitted ADU, and basically give you 2 options: demo the whole thing or convert it into an ADU with this year's code. Now, this ADU bill change will completely change things. It's basically going to be that if you do get caught, or if you come forward and tell the city that you have an unpermitted unit, the city, the inspectors, the contractors will help you convert that ADU, hopefully for as cheap as possible. Up next is one of my favorite new laws of the year. It's SB 1211. And this bill increases the amount of ADUs that we are allowed to build on a multifamily, going from 2 units all the way up to 8 units. Now remember, this law is only for multifamily, and it's only detached from the existing structure. This is not a conversion, this is new construction. We are originally allowed to build only 2, no matter how big the main building was. But now we can build 1 for 1 on every single unit. You can build an ADU. That means if you have a duplex, you can build 2 ADUs. If you have a triplex or a fourplex, you can build 3 or 4 ADUs. If you have 8 units, you can build 8 ADUs. Again, if you have a 10-unit apartment building, you can only build 8 ADUs. But this is going to be a huge increase for the amount of ADUs. Honestly, this bill should have its own video, and I probably will make a video dedicated to SB 1211. That's because I'm building 2 SB 1211s this year. I have 1 in Santa Monica and 1 in Altadena, and I'm working on 1 more in Los Angeles. So make sure to like and subscribe to this channel to see more updates on those projects, and hopefully a new video about SB 1211 where I go on site and walk you through my project, my floor plans, and show you how to build 8 units on 1 apartment building. Up next is SB 1077, which pertains to ADUs in coastal zones. We won't really see this into effect until next year, but it is important to talk about. If you have a home in the coastal zone and you've tried to get an ADU permitted, you know how challenging that is. This law is going to change the game. Now, coastal zones, the CCC, California Coastal Zones, are going to have to work with HCD, the California Housing and Community. They're going to have to work together to create a guideline to make ADUs more streamlined. And they're going to have to do this by July 1st, 2026. We will see some cities move on this quite quickly. We'll see some cities take their time. The important thing for this bill is it's going to be mandatory by July 1st, 2026. So stay tuned, and if you're in a coastal zone and your city's not moving forward, make sure that you are the one that's calling HCD and putting pressure on these cities to move forward. I almost didn't put this next bill into this video because it doesn't specifically pertain to ADUs, but after rereading the bill, it actually makes a pretty big difference for a very specific type of ADU. AB 2553 expands the definition of a major transit stop. Previously, if you had a bus station that was coming every 15 minutes, that would be a major transit stop. But now we're expanding it to a bus that comes every 20 minutes. Now you might ask, Joseph, why do we care about this? And why do we care if a bus comes every 15 minutes or every 20 minutes? It actually makes a big difference because ADUs that are half a mile walking distance from a major transit stop have two big benefits. The first is parking is no longer required, and you're allowed to build an ADU up to 18 feet height limitation. So if you are within half a mile away and your bus comes every 20 minutes, you are now eligible for these two big changes. Up next is SB 450. Which technically is a cleanup bill for SB 9. Now, for those of you that are new here, SB 9 is actually a law that is already in place where single-family homeowners can split their lot. I mean, actually chop their lot in half, building more single-family homes and more ADUs. Now, you got to split it up 40 or 50%, but if you actually do this correctly, you're going to be able to sell the entire property, or sell just half of the property, or sell both halves separately. So this is a really, really good idea for people that have massive lots or flag lots or even corner lots. The major issue with the original SB 9 law was that it was too confusing and cities just didn't know how to split a lot, which is why we really haven't seen many SB 9 lot splits in the last 2 years. But SB 450 is going to change all of that with two major changes. The first is that cities will not be allowed to deny your project because of environmental impact. That means wherever your project is, you will be able to split your lot. And the second, and I really think the most important thing, is that cities are going to be required to have a 60-day permitting deadline for SB 9. This really happened with the original ADUs, which is what changed it. Cities are going to have to either approve or deny you within 60 days. They're not going to be able to hold your plans under hostage that they used to do. This is going to clarify the bill. It's going to have better rules for urban development, urban lot splits, directly supporting the initiative of the original SB 9 bill to split more single-family homes, getting more ADUs and more single-family homes, and hopefully selling them to more and more homeowners. There's one more bill that I want to talk about, but this bill actually came into effect last year in 2024. I just personally feel like we didn't really talk about it on this channel, or not a lot of people talked about it in general. This is AB 976. We're eliminating owner-occupancy rules for ADUs. So originally what we had was if you built an ADU, you had to live in one of the houses, whether it's the ADU or the main house. You had to own or occupy one of the units. Now in 2019, we signed into effect AB 68, which eliminated owner occupancy until 2025, and you had to be grandfathered in. But with AB 976, we are completely eliminating owner occupancy rules, which basically means that if you have a single family home, you build an ADU, you can rent out both units without living on the property. This is going to be huge news for people that are developing or the people that were scared to build ADUs before this new law came in. Now, just a small caveat, junior ADUs still have owner occupancy. So make sure that you're planning well on whether or not you want a junior ADU or an ADU on your property. And that's a wrap for all the new laws that were introduced in 2025, plus a little bit more. If you're in Southern California and you're planning on building an ADU, you can schedule a free 15 minutes call with me, Joseph Peretz. I will help you brainstorm your project and hopefully help you build your ADU. You can sign up with the link down below for a free consultation. My name is Joseph Peretz from Neo Builders. I design and build ADUs all over Los Angeles, and I can't wait to share that with you. I make videos about property tours, how to build your own ADU. I plan on doing more videos like this about laws, floor plans, and more. I want to share my projects with you. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. I love you all. Bye, guys.